What is up? It is I, Dave Nordahl, aka Warcorpse666, and we're gonna be I don't know what the hell we're gonna be doing. And we popped out the chat, and we'll start it off here with a little bit of Say Something. All right. Hope all of you are well. Hope everyone watching me is good. I guess nobody really took me up on the Twitter thing. A question, dear listener, is capitalism. And you know how all these SJW fucks say that capitalism is the root of all evil. It's the root of racism and sexism and transphobia and homophobia and all this shit and all this other dog shit. And I'm going, really? Because my thought is, and if I don't get anybody who wants to come on, I will. Actually, I don't even know if I can do it in this format. Anyway, capitalism is the best system to end this. Why? Well, because here's capitalism and how it deals with racism. If you're racist, and let's say you own a graphic design company, and you only want to hire white men, that is what you want to hire, the good white men. Well, you get a candidate across your desk, and he is head and shoulders above everyone else. And he's asking for the expected salary about half of what he's actually worth. You got a bargain here. But he's a black guy. Now, you have a simple choice to make. Are you going to be a racist asshole, or are you going to be a businessman? If you're the racist asshole, what will happen is the young, talented black man will go to another company, make them a shit ton of money because he doesn't know how to value himself, and you'll be out of business. Same thing as if you want to discriminate against women or gays or me, I don't give a shit. You can make me money. I could give a fuck less if you got a beard like me and you're wearing a dress. Don't give a fuck. Please don't ask me to accept your reality, but I don't give a shit. And if every chick in the office is cool with it, I don't give a fuck what bathroom you use. If some have a problem with it, sorry, dude, I know you happen to have a dick. Go to the men's room. And trust me, speaking as a man, no guy gives a shit if some guy wearing a fucking dress walks into the men's bathroom. No guy on the planet is going to attempt to rape Riley fucking Dennis because he happened to walk in to the men's bathroom. We just don't care. All right. Since we're doing a little bit of a solo show, all right, let's listen to Steve Shive's 5 Insidious Things About Prison Labor.
Slavery ended in the United States in 1865, right?
No shit.
Right? Well, here are 5 insidious things about prison labor.
Okay. There's a difference between prison labor, which, by the way, the inmates are paid. I think it's about $1.25 an hour, versus slavery. Just so you know, Steve.
Number 1, it was the lone exception to abolition. A while ago,
Yes, because these people have been found guilty of a crime. What are we supposed to do with prisoners? Just let them sit and rot in their cells? We used to do that. That was considered cruel and inhumane, you jackass. These people have been found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And yes, there's a lot of time that USJW cuckbags like you, Steve, hate the reasonable doubt thing.
I did one of these videos about modern day slavery where I talked about things like child trafficking that do exist here in the United States, but which are illegal and conducted underground.
Yes.
However, there is still one form of slavery that is completely lawful and practiced right out in the open. We don't call it slavery.
They're prisoners! They have committed a crime! They haven't committed a crime! They have been found guilty of a crime. A fairly serious crime to warrant prison, which is any term of incarceration longer than a year. Below a year, you go to jail, and there's a big difference between jail and prison. Okay? They have been found guilty through a fair and impartial trial by a jury of their peers after they have been proven that they have committed a crime worthy of being sent to prison. What the fuck do we do with them, Steve?
Slavery, we call it penal labor. Section 1 of the 13th Amendment.
Well, then tell them to stop committing crimes.
Amendment to the U.S. Constitution reads, neither
So what, should we just let rapists go?
slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. And what's so bad about that? If someone is convicted of a crime after due process, why shouldn't the state be able to compel them to do labor for the duration of their sentence?
I don't see a problem with that.
Provided it doesn't cross the line to cruel and unusual punishment.
Yes.
Inmates work to allow the state to mitigate the costs of providing them room and board, or to pay back society for their crimes.
Yes. Also to make services at a state level cheaper.
It sounds reasonable in principle, but it's the way in which penal labor exists in practice where we start to run into some issues.
Yes, right.
For example, number 2, it promotes incarceration as a solution to social problems. The danger of
what? I don't even know the point of that.
Relying on prison labor to...
Like, these people, we don't go around rounding up, I'm going to just assume what you're going for, young black men to work in these prisons. Everyone that is in prison has had a fair trial with a lawyer and has been found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And here's the thing. A judge can overrule a jury if he can prove that the jury, that a reasonable person would have found a reasonable doubt. And a judge is absolutely forbidden from overturning a jury if they come back with not guilty. We are way into innocent until proven guilty in this country. That's why you feminists fucking hate that and want to change it for rape, guilty until proven innocent.
Too much is that incarceration comes to be viewed not as a means of protecting society from dangerous individuals or rehabilitating or punishing.
Why are people in prison? Why the fuck are they there, Steve?
Offenders, but as a for-profit enterprise. You can't expect to address the problems of any society simply by locking up the lawbreakers and leaving.
Well, we could kill them. What do you want, Steve? What's your solution?
It at that. Solving social problems requires change, not just from those convicted of crimes, but institutionally, at all levels.
Oh my God, I hate this institutional, systemic. Oh my God, it's bullshit. I hate this fucking line. It basically, the person saying it is literally saying that I don't have a point, so I'm going to say systemic or institutional to make it seem like I have a point when actually I got nothing.
Levels. That kind of change takes effort and time.
Also, maybe not tell people to commit so many fucking crimes.
And while we're waiting, there are plenty of companies who are only too happy to take advantage of the large and inexpensive labor force provided by the prison population of the United States. Number 3, it's exploited by private industry.
Good, fine,
so maybe you do some research and you decide that you are
yet you buy the products.
Not okay with the way prison labor currently works in the United States. And maybe you decide that until something is done to correct that situation, you're just not going to do business with companies that use prison labor. Well, good for you. And good luck with that.
Exactly, Steve. Good luck with that. I have no problem buying products made by prisoners. I don't. Don't have a problem in the world.
Goods and services produced by prisoners are everywhere. Among the mainstream
Good. Tell them not to commit fucking crimes, then they won't be in there.
Companies which take advantage of penal labor are McDonald's, Walmart,
How the fuck does McDonald's take advantage of them? I've been to McDonald's a few times, Steve. I might have lost 30 pounds, but I've been there. How the fuck does McDonald's take advantage of shit?
Sears, Microsoft, Nintendo, Starbucks, UPS.
But you know what? Good. Fuck them.
Yes, AT&T, and Verizon, and there are dozens and dozens more. These prisoners aren't stamping license plates or paving roads. They're producing commercial products to be sold by privately owned for-profit companies.
Who gives a shit?
Almost nothing, while the companies who exploit them reap the fruits of their labor.
Oh my God, no. It's not like that black woman that was in that photo. What was she in for? It could have been something where nobody was harmed, like embezzling money from the company in which she worked. Okay? Or she could be in there for drowning her daughter in the bathtub. I don't care, Steve. These people have been convicted in a court. You have done harm to society. So yes, you can work for nothing. This is punishment. What the fuck do you want us to do with these people? What, should we just sit them down, Steve, and you put them on their lap and you go, you might have killed 17 Girl Scouts and sewed their faces into a funny hat. But have you learned your lesson, and are you truly sorry? And when he looks into your eyes before raping and killing your wife and ripping her face off and wearing it as a chastity cage, and he says, yes, I am, Steve, I'm very sorry. Do we just let him go? What the fuck do we do with them? What are they supposed to do? Sit in their cell all day? Again, that's called cruel and unusual.
Number 4, it incentivizes incarceration.
God damn it! No, it doesn't!
Short-term treatment for some of the symptoms of much deeper problems. It's not a solution to those underlying...
Well, what's your fucking solution? Murderers murder because they're murderers. Rapists rape because they're fucked in the head. Serial killers kill because they're fucked in the head. What the fuck do we do with them?
Problems in and of itself.
And I assume that if a white guy, God, what is his name? Ketting, the fucking jackass that swindled a bunch of old people out of their retirements. Oh, he's a white man. He can work for nothing. So what, if it's white-collar CEOs doing shit that's illegal, that's fine, but... Oh my God, give me a break, Steve. These jackasses committed a crime. Now, yes, there are people in prison that I don't think should be in prison. Somebody selling pot to his neighborhood should not be in prison, provided he's not selling it to children. You know who also gets in massive trouble and does go to jail? People who sell cigarettes to kids, Steve. Again, these people have been found guilty of a crime after trial, after due process, after being proved that they did what the state said they fucking did. This is not just the cops going to predominantly black high school and rounded up the fucking basketball team. You fucking moron. Quit wearing that goddamn stupid fucking hat. I swear to God, it is cutting out the circulation to your goddamn brain.
Unfortunately, fixing the problems of society usually takes a back seat when there's money to be made.
Fine, fuck it.
Prison labor is a separate issue from prison privatization, but the two are related, and both
Oh my God, no, they're not.
fall under the
And no, I don't think we should have private prisons.
umbrella.
But again, everyone in those private prisons is there because they have been convicted of a crime. We don't just randomly, you will never get a letter in the mail and go, you're going to prison for 4 years. When the cops pull you over for going 15 miles over the speed limit, as long as you're not a complete asshole, or as long as you don't try to fight the cops or do something stupid, you're not going to jail for going over the speed limit. If a death is completely accidental, you're probably not you're probably not going to jail there either. Most people in prison are there because they did something wrong. Now, yes, there are people that I don't think should be there, but I don't make the laws. What should we do with a man who rapes a woman? Just, again, Steve, sit him on your knee and go, you raped that woman, you traumatized her for life. She's going to be in therapy for years, but are you sorry? Because if you are, you can get off my lap and just go. What do we do with child molesters, Steve? Now, I personally think child molesters and murderers, after they've been proven to be that, and people who peddle kiddie porn, throw them all in a fucking room, send 5 guys in with fucking AR-15s, and that'll solve the problem. But that's just me.
Of the so-called prison industrial complex. And whether we're talking about privately owned prisons that rely on government contracts or prisons, both private and state operated, hiring out their inmates to companies for cheap labor, turning penitentiaries into profit-generating entities creates an incentive to keep them full.
Then why in the... No, that is not the reason. The reason they're so fucking full is because of bullshit drug sentences. Minimum sentencing. Usually for nonviolent drug offenders who happen to have a little too much pot. Okay? That is what's keeping the fucking prison population full. Okay? Why is it then that a child molester or a rapist will spend less time behind bars than somebody who is caught selling pot to fellow adults? Even a guy who's selling pot to 15-year-olds, they're old enough to know better. 6 years, that's different. Again, we have degrees. But, again, it didn't hurt anybody. People are only hurting themselves, and I think people have the right to be morons. But that's why, Steve, that's why rapists spend less time in jail.
What hope is there for efforts to reform the criminal justice system and address the injustices?
Oh, look, the prison system is its own
and
thing.
Inequalities that have caused the American prison population to skyrocket over the last 40 years when the
That's the war on drugs.
government and the private sector each have vested interests in keeping that prison population as large and as productive as possible. Speaking of those inequalities,
There are prisoners who request solitary confinement, where they're in a room for 22 hours a day. They don't contribute to anything. Again, do you think that's what we should have? Just people in a room for 22 hours a day? Some people can't handle that. Others can.
qualities, they are part and parcel of something which our modern institution of prison
Also, I don't believe it's legal to beat the living shit out of a prisoner.
labor
Now, I'm not going to be so naive to say that it doesn't happen.
has in common with its 19th
For the
century
guards.
predecessor. Number 5, It's an instrument of white
Oh
supremacy.
my goddamn
The more
Christ.
things change, the more
Oh, of course. It's the evil white man.
they stay the same. The American prison population is 40% black and
Because they're committing 51% of the violent fucking crime.
20.
Look, I'm sorry that you have to defend. Look, I'm sorry you got to do this, Steve, because Lord knows you can't satisfy your wife because you won't let you out of your goddamn cock cage. No, you got to defend that big black guy that comes over and fucks her brains out.
80% Hispanic.
Again, they're committing the crime. I am done with this asshole. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, let's see if anybody's popped up in the chat. Nope. Oh, wait, yes, I have. I didn't know the allegations against Enzo Amore had been dropped. I know he was released, but honestly, let me just talk about Enzo Amore. Some fucking cunt on YouTube or on somebody somewhere said that he did something inappropriate or raped her or whatever. Anyway, Enzo has so much fucking heat that I guarantee you Vince McMahon was just looking for any excuse to get rid of him. Just any excuse at all. And to not make it seem like, you know. Yeah, Steve is this fucking stupid. Oh, and that's something, Steve. Do you know that women, I loved how you showed the black lady sewing clothes while you showed the black male prisoners working their ass off in a field to, make food for the prison. Here's the thing, though, Steve. Do you know that women, for the exact same crimes of a man, will get 1/10 or 1/6, somewhere between like 1/6 and 1/10 of the prison time that a man gets for the same crime? Again, as I've stated, if a woman fucks a 15-year-old boy, nobody cares. If a man fucks a 15-year-old girl, holy shit, let's crucify him. Are you gonna bring up that inequality, Steve? Okay, let's see what else I got to deal with. Burger tips from the Rachel Ray show. Did I do this one? And was she completely drunk for it? Yeah, I think I did these before. Fuck. I don't think I got to Steve Shives though. Fuck it, I'll do Rachel Kunz.
I know you love burgers. I do too. So my question for you, if you could create the ultimate
This was before she became fat and drunk.
burger, what would it be?
I don't think there's any one definition for that. I make burgers out of everything. I literally wrote a book called The Book of Burger, and the burger is glowing on the front, sort of like the Book of Mormon. I get really creative with burgers. I try and make burgers for my friends that don't eat meat. Like I make swordfish burgers, ground shrimp burgers.
You said your friends that don't eat, was that red meat or don't eat meat? Because swordfish and their burgers.
Tuna burgers.
Or their meat. Sorry, I misspoke.
I'm gonna help you mix your meat if that's okay. I hope you don't mind.
Why? You don't think I'm capable of it?
Well, I thought I would get a little dirty. You want to mix your own meat?
You noticed I didn't jump up.
Yeah.
I'm like, is he attacking me? What is he doing? I had things I wanted to tell people about the mixing of this meat. Okay. Would you like to mix ketchup?
Sure. That's nice.
Okay. I like to put balsamic ketchup on these. I make balsamic drizzle, which is just thickened up balsamic vinegar. You could buy balsamic drizzle in a bottle, or you can make it. You take a half a cup of balsamic, 3 tablespoons of light or dark brown sugar, and let it reduce down until 1/3. And it'd be nice and thick and syrupy. Just mix some of that.
Why would you put that on a... why?
Together for me with a little black pepper.
And she didn't really answer the question. She got into a little tete-a-tete with the fucking faggot in the blue shirt. She didn't bother to bring up that if you make burgers out of, like, okay, I've never made a burger out of shrimp. I've never made a burger out of a swordfish because swordfish I prefer the steak. Shrimp, I'm not a big fan of. Whenever I eat it, my teeth just like instantly get like just freezing. I have like my teeth have been frozen. I get this weird sensation in my teeth every fucking time I eat shrimp. And the shitty thing is, I like shrimp, but I do know, like, when you make burgers out of chicken, you have to have a binder in there. You got to have an egg and some breadcrumbs. Otherwise, they're impossible to handle. Like, seriously, buy ground chicken, try to form it into fucking patties without, like, breadcrumbs or something in there like that. Pork's the same way. Now, if you have pork and beef, it can work itself out. But just very bad advice. Actually, just non-advice, Rachel. Great. You're supposed to be a fucking professional. What else do we got in this shit? Gay rights. Here's this jacket. I don't even know when the fuck I did these. My ability to turn the tsunami back proves I'm right about Trump, whoever this fucker is.
Remember when they had
this Frank Amita dickhead.
Tsunami in Japan? They had the earthquake and the tsunami.
But no, if you're gonna make burgers, burgers are not. You can't treat the meat you've ground up. You have to treat beef one way. You have to treat pork one way. You have to treat veal one way, even though that's beef. Which feminists should be loving fucking veal. I mean, it's normally the male calves. Male calves are turned into veal. Okay? You feminists should be fucking loving this. But you have to treat your meat differently. And with chicken, and I've never really made it out of seafood, but I gotta think it's along the lines of chicken. You gotta be able to bind that shit. Or cook the fucker in a ring.
Tsunami?
Yes.
And my wife wakes me up at 6:45 a.m. in the morning, and she says, "You got to pray." I said, "I pray all the time. Why are you waking me up?" She said, "Our daughter, Carissa, is on the island of Kauai over in Hawaii." I said, "What's she doing there?" Her husband took her there for their anniversary, and the tsunami's headed there.
Well, Lord knows I won't be on that island.
And they said it's going to hit the shores in 15 minutes. And she just called and she says, "Tell Dad I love him. They're taking us up in the rocks and I don't know if I'm going to talk to you again." I said, "What?" I got up and I said, "Which way's Hawaii?" Now remember, my hair's tossed.
This is a story.
My wife turns me and says, "It's that way." I said, "Are you sure?" She goes, "Yes." I said, "If I be a man of God, the prophet of God, I command now that tsunami stop."
Okay, wait a second. Hold up.
That Kauai. I said, "I pray all the time. Why are you waking me up?" She said, "Our daughter, Carissa, is on the island of Kauai over in Hawaii." I said, "What's she doing there?" Her husband took her there for their anniversary, and the tsunami's headed there, and they said it's going to hit the shores in 15 minutes. And she just...
Okay. Tsunamis travel pretty fucking fast, meaning the tsunami had already hit one island. And had been traveling for a while, and tsunamis lose power as they travel. I mean, it's a wave. It's not a hurricane, it's a wave. They lose power.
Just called and she says, "Tell Dad I love him. They're taking us up in the rocks and I don't know if I'm going to talk to you again."
And they lose a shit ton of power when they hit land. So maybe this thing wasn't as bad as your daughter, who also probably believes that Jesus is coming back in 15 fucking minutes. Maybe the tsunami had lost a little bit of power, just not for nothing.
And I said, "What?" I got up and I said, "Which way's Hawaii?" Now remember, my hair's tossed. My wife turns me and says, "It's that way." I said, "Are you sure?" She goes, "Yes." I said, "If I be a man of God, the prophet of God."
If I be a man of God, the prophet of God.
I command now that tsunami stops.
And I can tell God, the creator of the universe, what the fuck to do. Stop the tsunami, faggot!
That it cannot touch that Kauai. That is my inheritance. That is my child. And as the prophet of God, I command you to stop now.
Okay, now, okay, wait a second. You're not just a man of God. Now, you are the prophet of God. You talk to God. You are his prophet. You are his voice on earth. And you tell him what to do, which would actually make you God. So you're God. Great. Tell you what, Mr. Frank. You want to prove to me that you're the prophet of God? Turn this Budweiser can, its height, this Budweiser tall boy. Replace this with $100 bills. I want to stack up $100 bills as tall as my Budweiser can. Okay? Can you do that? Frank? Can you do that? Or, I tell you what. Make it rain fucking grape Kool-Aid. If that happens, I'll believe.
I said, get her on the phone. She calls my daughter. She's climbing up the mountains, and I could, I said, honey, turn and look now. You don't need to climb anymore. She said, why? I said, just listen to me. Turn and look now. I said, look to the right. You will see an angel stirring in the waters. He will hold back the waters. The waters will pull back. Oh, my
God.
And then
was your daughter high on something?
They will recede and go the other way.
Or were you?
She got it on video.
Mm.
And the water stopped.
Where is the video of the angel churning the waters? Because that would put a big hole in the whole atheism thing. Where's the fucking video, jackass?
And they went the other way. You want to hear the end of this one?
Yes.
You're going to laugh again. God laughs in heaven.
Yes.
So when I release the thing about Donald Trump, right, and I say he has a breaker anointing, don't you know that all of those publications that love to bash you and me and all of us that move out there, what do they say? The Tsunami pastor says Trump has a breaker anointing. Well, guess what? I was right about the tsunami, and I was right about Trump. To God be the glory.
Okay, the only reason Trump won is because, and I had a feeling he would win, but the only reason Trump won is Hillary was so fucking unlikable. Had the Democrats run goddamn near anyone, with the possible exception of Bernie Sanders, because Sanders is so fucking radical, and he's a fucking socialist. But if they would have ran anyone else, except for maybe, Bernie Sanders or what is that? The Maxine Waters cunt, her. But anyone else, for fucking Michelle Obama could have ran and probably beaten him. But they didn't. They ran Hillary Clinton. And that wasn't what the Democrat voters wanted in the primaries. They wanted Bernie Sanders. Now look, I fucking hate Sanders, but I'm not going to deny the choice of the voters. And look, if in 2020 Bernie Sanders wins, I'll be the first to say, fuck it, he's my president. This socialist piece of shit also happens to be my president. And I'm going to mock him every chance I get. All right. Where are we at with things? Oh, he hit. Look, I don't really know the whole Enzo thing. I just know he has a shit ton of heat backstage, and Vince was probably one to get rid of the fucker anyway. Let's talk about, this is a BuzzFeed. Oh, God, it's BuzzFeed. Is whitewashing okay? Sure, why not? Fuck it. Here's the problem, though. whitewashing bad, but giving the role to a black man, or giving the role to that should be white to a black man or an Asian man or a what the fuck ever.
It seems you're pregnant.
It's fine.
Rated R.
Hey y'all, welcome to this week's episode.
So I'm sorry, but I don't get this. If Idris Elba can be James Bond, then fuck it. Matt Damon can be. We can have an all-white version of The Color Purple.
Episode of Is This Okay? Where we talk about things that are happening in the world, wondering if it's okay. I'm Nyla.
I'm Daisha.
I'm Chris.
I'm Nick.
Oh shit!
I'm Claudia. Yay! Welcome, guys.
God damn it, Mercedes
This week,
Carrera.
our topic of discussion is whitewashing in Hollywood. The other night, I saw Kubo and the Two Strings, and so it's this beautiful
Check my fucking Twitter feed. God damn it, Mercedes Carrera.
film about a Japanese family, and for whatever reason, I just had this itch where I was like, I gotta check and see who the voices are out of the 5 main characters.
George Takei was the only one.
Yeah, was
right?
the only one who was Asian.
You kind of wonder why none of the 8 people in the movie were actually Japanese.
This has been happening
Because it's an animated movie, and who gives a fuck?
for a very long time.
Oh, shut up, you soy boy Jap faggot!
Because we've seen it with Emma Stone, Still Remember You, Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One, and Scarlett Johansson as Ghost in the Shell.
There's also
Okay, I want to point this out. I hate fucking anime. I hate fucking manga. And I'm not a big fan of comic books. But, Aeon Flux is one that I have watched. It was on Liquid Television, a program MTV in the 90s. And the character was depicted as white. So, yeah, go figure that shit out. Also, most anime characters, like Goku from Dragon Ball Z, is drawn as white. Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z is portrayed as white. Everyone from the fucking Record of the Lotus War, which is actually a rare exception. I love Record of the Lotus War. They're white. So, guess life sucks.
also this argument that
So, I mean, must we have a Japanese woman playing women that are, by your own country's fucking art, fucking white?
you know, well, these white actors
Also, why do geishas paint their face white?
are just more talented, and I think that that's the argument that really irks
It's
me.
so insulting.
Let's
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. There are plenty of black actors that are wonderful actors. It's just in this country, most of the actors are white because most of the fucking population is white. You fucking little fucking ching chong chimmy chong chung jong chai boy soy boy faggot.
say that they've gotten more
I don't know why I want to strangle this little fucker, but I do.
training or more schooling, so that thus makes them more talented. Why haven't we as a society said that, like, oh, well, there's this whole other group of people that aren't getting the training that they need to be able
We have. They've gotten it, and they're A-listers. What the fuck do you... For Christ's sakes. There's black guys acting. There's Hispanic guys acting. There's Asian motherfuckers acting. And they're A-listers, making millions and millions of dollars. And that's thankfully afforded to capitalism, the thing you fucking faggots hate.
to compete on the same level. Let's figure out how to fix that.
This is all the funny actors.
Oh my god, I gotta take a fucking piss break. I'm fucking sorry. I gotta pee. I fucking hell. Fucking gut, but BuzzFeed makes me want to strangle a goddamn puppy. Christ You know, I just had a thought as I was taking a piss. Gone with the Wind. Now, I have not watched this movie. I have tried to because it's such a landmark, piece of cinema. And I've tried to get through it just because I want to say I've seen it. By the way, I've seen Citizen Kane, and it fucking sucks. It's terrible. It's boring as hell. But I want to get back to Gone with the Wind. You had a woman in there play a character named Mammy. Now, this was a portly, fat black woman who, in 1930 goddamn 9, at the height of Jim Crow, the KKK, where you might have actually had an argument for racist, systemic, institutional shit. You might have had a point. Hollywood gave her the goddamn Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. Go fuck yourselves.
We know, and they just all happen to be white and male. And it's like, well, you're pulling from a comedy school that needs like a certain level of socioeconomic status to be able to succeed in.
And also from cultures that don't encourage going into that industry.
Right.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
And then when you are very set on a certain type of comedy too, you're not going to get the Leslie Joneses. Like, you're not used to that type of comedy. Stars can be made. Stars can be built. And studios have to commit.
Really? Okay, so we're talking about comedy. There's no black comedians. No black comedians at all. No Richard Pryors, no Chris Rocks, no Kevin Harts, no Tyler Perrys, no Bill Cosby's. Well, fuck it, it's relevant. No, well, Denzel Washington, I believe, has starred in a few comedies, I think. Fuck it. Really, no black comedian, no Dave Chappelle's, no Monique's, and I'll get to that bitch in a minute. No, nothing. No, there's no such thing as go fuck yourselves.
To finding those people.
I also just think about it in terms of like being a black woman and how I could never depict a story for like as a white person. Like, that's just not my story to tell.
Can we?
No, you can't, because you're a black woman. That's why I would have a very hard time writing a story about a black woman. I mean, I could I probably could do it. But I wouldn't tell it as good as a black woman. My story about a black woman would probably be her having to fight off a bunch of fucking psychotic monsters from the forbidden, from the banished zone of the Elder Gods. But no, I mean, you're a black woman. If you want to write about white men, fine. If you want to write a story about how a black woman is raped in the cafe where she is a waitress, and she's raped by a group of white men, and they escape justice, and she goes on a vigilante mission to kill them all, go for it. And hell, I'll even collaborate with you. If you want me to write the part of the evil white male, fine, fuck it, I'll do it. Actually, that is a hell of a story idea. Story contest, everyone. Write a 5,000 word or less short story about a black woman who gets raped by 4 white dudes, and she goes on a quest to kill them all.
Talk about Fresh Off the Boat, and all these shows are about the struggle of this specific type of ethnicity. I really want to have a black family that's not about being black also. A show where the emotion...
You had it. It was the Cosbys. You had it. It was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You had it. It was, Martin to a certain degree. You had it. It was... Like I'm actually as I'm trying to remember TV shows that featured a predominantly black cast, I'm actually trying to remember a show where them being black was a central point.
Are universal, not specific to a niche.
I think I get what you're saying, but I also think like when you are a person of color.
Jesus Christ, I would love to be on this semicircle. Because I would be going bananas on every one of them.
Your color comes with you no matter what.
Yes, you're right. It does. Because you faggots have made it that way. People like BuzzFeed have made it this way. Where I have no choice but to go, you know what? Yes, I am a cis straight white male, but that doesn't invalidate my goddamn opinion. Go fuck yourself. Your story is not more valuable than mine. Your opinion isn't worth more than mine.
When you are white, you have the option to either address it or to not address it.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you.
That seems like the goal to me, right?
Yeah.
Is to have.
No, I would have actually just told her to take her bull dyke ass and shut the fuck up. Ate the fucking pussy of the black chick to the left. It's not my job to deal with your imagined depression.
Have the option. You can still, if you make a movie about slavery, you've got to talk about racism.
Yes. If I make a movie about slavery, the white people in it, yes, will probably be racist. Why would that fucking be? Why would the white people in a movie about slavery be racist? It has nothing to do with the fact that they viewed black people at the time as 3/4 of a human or 2/3 of a human or whatever the fuck it was. And they viewed them as property, not people. You know, it's kind of like how we view dogs. Again, if a human shits in the middle of the floor and they're above the age of 3, we get pissed. A dog does it. We get irritated, but it's a dog. That's what they viewed him as. Same level as dogs. Now, the great thing is, it's just a movie. And yes, this would come with it. But the thing is, that ended 140 fucking years ago! God damn it! Oh, and 600,000 cis, straight, white, evil males who should now just hate themselves and cut their balls off so they can never reproduce died, ending it. Fuck you, BuzzFeed. Jesus, I'm fired up. Ugh. All right, let's deal with this fat cunt.
Do you think there's a line where a body type becomes unhealthy?
Yeah, like if you're over 300.
Is that Akila, obviously?
What size do you think plus size would start at?
Doesn't it start at like a 14? I don't.
Yes, and now I'd like to point out, thanks to body positive activist dipshits like this ugly bitch we're going to see in a minute, the average size of the American woman is 16.
Oh, no.
I mean, if you're overweight, then it's obviously not healthy.
What would you say would be the opposite of plus size?
Like normal.
How would you define normal?
The opposite of plus size, normal. No shit. How about healthy?
I have no idea.
On its most basic.
Oh, by the way, the reason these people, the reason these college kids can't answer these basic questions is because this is the first time they've had reality interjected into their world.
Basic level, body positivity is the idea that all bodies.
Oh my God! What the fuck are you? Jesus Christ! Oh my God. Okay, sweetheart. First off, gym, treadmills, stair climbers, curls, burn fat. Second off, salon. What the fuck is that? I mean, I'm a straight guy, and I'm saying I need a new fucking hairstyle. Third, fucking plastic surgeon. Jesus Christ. Is it possible for you to give a man an erection? Fuck. I mean, I've heard of ugly before, but fuck. This is circus ugly.
Are good bodies. When you think of what TV, magazines, and movies tell us a good body is, which celebrities come to
healthy
mind?
We're asking people which celebrity they think has a really great body.
I think Jennifer Lawrence has my ideal body.
I definitely think Jennifer Aniston has a good body. She's toned. I don't know, she looks healthy.
Who would you choose?
Oh, geez, what a shock. They're choosing healthy humans.
Jessica Alba. She has like a healthy body type, in my opinion.
What can we do?
And also, all of these women are in really good shape, and the women that were being asked the question are in decent shape.
About good bodies based on these women. Good body.
No, it's not a good body. It's a healthy body, Dumbo.
These are thin, straight, and most often white. There's
I don't, well, was one of them Jennifer Lawrence? Because she's a moron. She thinks that we have hurricanes because we elected Trump. Yes. Most often, in this country at least, they would be white because, again, about 70% of the population is white. And they would most likely be straight because about 90% of the population is straight. I think Madonna has a great body type. I think Ellen has a great body. Madonna's bi. Ellen's a fucking lesbian. I think Rosie O'Donnell has an absolutely abhorrently fat body type. I think Whoopi Goldberg, who's also straight, is a fucking fat ass. I think Roseanne is disgusting.
There's nothing wrong with having a body like this, but the body positivity movement strives to create representation.
Jesus Christ. Can we start with salon? Your hair is driving me nuts.
For marginalized bodies. We want to see fat bodies.
Fuck you.
Queer bodies.
Fuck you.
Bodies of color and
I believe black women are in porno and in the media, so their representation is proportionate to their population in the United States. I believe if I paid $50 and I wanted to see some black chick on a webcam jiggling her titties for me, I could pull it off.
Everything in between, upfront and
or if I wanted to fuck a black woman for $50, I could probably pull it off too.
Center in mainstream media.
Yes.
You might.
That's because women are getting fatter thanks to fucking ugly cunts like you who can't get laid.
You have noticed that a common descriptor for these traditionally accepted body types is healthy. But can you really tell if someone is healthy by looking at them?
Yes. That's the reason why I have lost 25 to 30 pounds of this. Notice the belly shrinking, everybody? Do you notice why I'm not drinking beer so much on this program? Gee, it couldn't be because I'm getting concerned about my weight now that I'm 36 years old. And 40 is 4 years away. Yes, I can look at a person, I can look at a 22-year-old who's 400 pounds and say, you're not fucking healthy.
I mean,
and all medical evidence points to me being right.
If you're overweight, then it's obviously not healthy because you're lugging a lot of excess weight around, and it's proven not.
No shit.
Not to be healthy. People have died from overweight.
Just because someone is fat or just because someone is thin doesn't necessarily mean that that person is healthy or unhealthy.
No, yes, you're right. but the rare exceptions where the 300-pound land whale is as healthy as their gym counterpart, who is chiseled out of rock, and the super skinny girl is just as healthy and not anorexic as, again, the chiseled out of rock gym counterpart, is a little ridiculous. Now, yes, do some people take it too far at the gym and that becomes unhealthy? Of course. But I'm going to take one look at you and go, you're not healthy. You could stand to lose about 30 pounds. Not 1,000,000 pounds, just, about 20 or 30. I can see your fat rolls through your dress.
Even if...
Again, you could also be bothered to, fix your appearance and fix your fucking teeth.
Someone is clinically unhealthy, that doesn't make them any less worthy of self-love.
You can't.
No, it doesn't, you jackass, but they also need to fix it. A woman who is 800 pounds doesn't lose her human rights, doesn't lose her ability to love herself, doesn't lose her ability to feel good about herself, doesn't lose her self-esteem, but she should have enough self-love to get herself so she actually sees fucking 40.
And by just looking at someone, you can't tell their genetic makeup. You don't know their family background, their family history.
No, I know how humans are put together, sweetheart. And yeah, having a big old pot belly, that probably ain't healthy. And yes, I understand genetics do play a role. I get it. But being the size of a couch is not genetics, sweetheart.
And there's a lot of things that go into health rather than it just being are you a size 0 or a size 8?
Even though the body positive movement is for everyone, no matter what type of body you
Bullshit, it's for fat, ugly cunts like yourself.
have, many plus size body positive...
Jesus Christ. Again, lose 30 pounds, go to a hairstylist, and get those fucking moles off. Fuck. Then you might be passable. If I had 12 beers, I'd probably fuck you.
Activists are asking the question, is it okay to call someone fat? Does the term plus size suggest that fat bodies aren't normal?
Do you think...
No, they're not normal. Look at the animal kingdom. Here's a thought. Human beings are the only ones that are fat. Do you see any fat tigers? I don't. See any fat lions? No. Do you see any fat animal in the wild? I don't. Hell, the humans that spend most of their time in the wild, are they fat? No. There's a reason you're fat. There's a reason probably your dog's fat.
Plus size has good connotations.
There's a reason why my dog, Henry, who has been dearly departed for 2 years now, was at one point in his life obese. He'd whine, I'd give him food. Bad mistake on my part.
Bad connotations.
And then I stopped doing that, made the walks a little longer, and guess what? He slimmed down a lot.
I feel like often it has bad connotations. People are always saying
After
bad
I got yelled at by my vet.
things about people that are plus size.
I think it's usually considered.
And yes, that was right of her. Not to just sit there and go, well, obviously Henry has a different dog type that's just fine for him. Sure, he's 15 pounds overweight or whatever the hell he was. This was years ago. No, she fucking said your dog's fucking obese. Get your sorry ass out and walk him.
Negative.
More. Stop feeding him from the table. Stop doing this. Stop doing that. Otherwise, your dog's going to have a fucking heart attack.
What do you think is the opposite of the word plus size?
Fat ass. Normal. Thin. Pretty. The opposite of whatever the fuck you are.
I guess negative size.
I mean, I get.
Oh, fuck. I'm done with this fucking video. All right, we'll deal with this thing from Queer Kids Stuff. We'll check the chat for a moment. Okay, would I rather date Tess Holiday or fuck Anita Sarkeesian? Can I ball gag Anita? Because Anita's hot. Yeah, she's getting fat. You know what? I'd actually rather go on a date with Tess Holiday. I mean, I don't have the obligation to fuck her, and at least I get a good meal out of the deal. I'd have to listen to some bullshit for a while, but no, I'd much rather have dinner with Tess Holiday than fucking Anita Sarkeesian. All right. Next video up. We are going to be doing The View has done this thing with Monique getting pissed off over getting $500,000. I'm going to say that again. $500,000 for a Netflix special. And I'm going to rip every one of these motherfuckers apart.
Oscar winner Monique has a big problem with Netflix right now. She took to Instagram to tell...
By the way, Whoopi, are you not an Oscar winner too? Did you not win for The Color Purple? Yet Theodore Rex is on your resume.
Tell people why. Take a look.
I am asking.
And here's the thing.
Last week to do a
Here's
comedy
the thing about Whoopi. She's actually a very good actress. If she's given the right role.
special. However, Amy Schumer was offered $11 million, Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle $20 million. Then Amy Schumer went back and renegotiated $2 more million
Okay, hold up.
because she said, I shouldn't get what the men are getting their leg cut Netflix for gender bias and color bias. I was offered a $500,000 deal last week to do a comedy.
She was offered $500,000
special. However, Amy Schumer was offered $11 million, Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle $20 million. Then Amy Schumer went back and renegotiated $2 more million because she said, I shouldn't get what the men are getting, their legends. However, I should get more, and Netflix agreed. Why shouldn't I get what the legends are getting? Please stand with me in this boycott of Netflix. I love us for real.
So she's...
Oh, I don't know, Monique. Because you're not relevant. Precious was getting to be damn near 10 years ago. Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, they're comedy legends. And they drive in asses to watch the shit. Amy Schumer, despite my screaming to the universe on it, drives asses to watch the shit. You don't, my dear. You really don't. Yes, you're an Oscar winner. So is Whoopi Goldberg, and she's doing The View.
Says, you know, Netflix offered her $500,000, and...
Also, I would like to point out how many comics out there right now would cut their genitalia off, both men and women, to get $500,000 with Netflix to do a comedy special.
Apparently they told her, well, we believe that's what Monique will bring. And she said, what about my resume? And they reportedly said, we don't go off on resumes.
You're lucky they don't, Whoopi. Remember, you have The Color Purple, and you have Theodore Rex.
So she asked them why Amy would get the money that she got. And she cited that she had 2 sold-out shows at Madison Square Garden and a hit summer movie. Now, Wanda Sykes told Monique, Netflix offered me less than half of your $500. I was offended, but found another home, hashtag epics.
Okay, so Wanda Sykes Okay, let me be clear. I want to say she's a pretty funny lady, very talented comic, but her comedy is very nichey. But this isn't a racism problem. Wanda Sykes' comedy appeals to a particular audience. Amy Schumer can sell out Madison Square Garden, a hard feat to do. Again, I don't think Amy Schumer's funny, but I'm in the minority apparently.
Clear, is she claiming sexism or racism? First she says Chris is getting more money.
You know, for once, I actually think I agree with Joy. I can't believe I said that.
So what's her case?
Well, women of color traditionally do make the least amount of money. White men make the most, then white women, then black men, and then women of color. I mean,
In what field? Where? What field? All of it?
we traditionally lose over $1 million
In this
during our
particular
lifetime.
case, I mean, Chris Rock has a bigger following, though, isn't he? It's all about eyeballs.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. That's why Amy Schumer got paid more, Monique. That's why Chris Rock got paid more. That's why Dave Chappelle got paid more. They brought more money to Netflix. You, my dear, are not worth that much. In fact, personally, I wouldn't have given you $500K. I personally would have thought you were worth $250K. And again, how many fucking comics sit there and dream of one Netflix special that they would happily do for goddamn free?
Eyeballs watching, isn't it? Watching the
But
net.
it's a problem across all industries.
Fuck
you know, it's
you.
been well documented that women of color make less money, and the bottom line is it's not fair.
Oh, fuck you! Okay, let's go with your stupid little industry, you sunny little Houston bitch! How many fucking white actresses and white actors, how many are sitting home right now, maybe watching me, dreaming of a $500,000 fucking payout? How many? How many go their whole fucking careers, getting nowhere near that? I would be shocked if Bruce Campbell, who is possibly the greatest B-list movie actor or C-list or whatever the fuck, straight to video actor, I'd be shocked if he's gotten $500,000 for a single role. Discounting Ash versus the Evil Dead. How many fucking actors, actresses that are white dream of getting $500,000 for a movie role, a play, whatever, and never, ever, ever get that? You stupid, dumb, Hispanic cunt.
It's just not fair.
It's not fair. Yeah, you're right. We should pay everyone in the cast the same, despite the fact that the lead brought in 95% of the fucking audience, and the guy who was selling newspaper in 3 scenes brought in 1%. We should pay them equally. It's not fucking fair. It's not fair. You're a fucking adult. It ain't fair. Should have ended when you were fucking 10. Fuck you. All right, next up, I'm going to play a Bernie Sanders interview.
Hello to our fantastic TY.
Now, here's the thing. Anna's mic is fine. Bernie's mic is fucked. But I can at least hear him. I do apologize if The rest of you can't. Anyway, if you have a video for me to do a reaction on, put it in the chat, and I'll see what we can do. God, I don't know whether to fucking log on Twitter or not.
TV viewers, I am honored to be here with the legendary Senator Bernie Sanders.
Legend.
And you shouldn't be wearing clothes.
Legendary. Our audience certainly thinks so. And I'm very happy to be here because we are about to discuss policy, something that you don't see very often.
Actually, her mic's a little fucked too.
In most media coverage. And we're going to talk about healthcare in the United States and what we can do to improve it. Now, I want to start this off by asking you, Senator Sanders, what the #1 issue on your mind is in the Trump era? Because
personally, I would love to debate Bernie Sanders. If I could fucking have a genie, one of my wishes would be that I could debate Bernie Sanders.
During the election,
I'd love to break down a few of his ideas because they don't make a lot of sense. If you actually go to like Bernie Sanders for what the fuck ever, like nothing works. Like he wants to increase spending by $4 trillion, but increase income by $4.1 trillion. Here's the thing though. Anybody that has built anything knows that if you start out with a project and you think it'll cost $100, budget $300.
You brought up so many important issues. Affordable housing.
What the fuck is with the audio in this?
College tuition, getting money out of politics, healthcare. In the Trump era, priorities are going to shift a little, I'm guessing. So what is the most important issue?
In this disastrous moment in American history, my overarching concern is the movement toward authoritarianism.
Okay, so you're against authoritarianism, which is odd because you're a socialist. And if I didn't know better, that pin on your lapel is the communist symbol?
The undermining of democracy.
Which socialism does.
Trump doing that by trying to divide us up by the color of our skin or the country we were born in or our religion in a way that no
Okay, it's not the hammer and sickle.
president, not even the most conservative president, have ever dreamed of doing. And
no, Bernie, the reason we're so divided is thanks to faggots like you.
Simultaneously with that is the movement toward oligarchy, where you are seeing a smaller and smaller number of billionaires exercising extraordinary power over our economy and our political life. You got 3 people in America now who own more wealth than the bottom half of the American people, and the Koch brothers and others are trying to basically buy our democracy, electing right-wing Republicans. So those are the overarching concerns that I have.
Really? Is that why you Democrats fielded Hillary Clinton? Is that why Obamacare was a fucking disaster? Is that why everyone was happy when Obamacare's mandate was repealed? Is that why Trump shot way up in the polls? And again, I'm not a big Trump fan, but can't argue facts. With his tax cut? Is that why companies are giving out bonuses? But no. Let's just go with this dismal, old, useless, impotent, fucking socialist cocksucker and just tax everyone to death and oh my God, I fucking hate socialism.
And then underneath that, you got a million issues in terms of the decline of the middle class and racism and everything else.
So
Fuck you!
how do we mobilize progressives and just true believers?
Seriously, of all the goddamn people, if there was a devil and I could sell my soul to him, tell you what, devil, if you're fucking listening, I'll sell my soul. I will sell my goddamn soul to you for 60 million subscribers on YouTube and a chance to interview Senator Sanders. Just so I can destroy him. I'm willing to give up a eternity of having my dick bitten off by demon dogs and having to fucking lick your asshole clean in exchange for that. Just so I can destroy the socialist piece of shit.
In a fair democratic system to spread the message against all the propaganda out there that leads.
You know what's amazing? Why don't the Young Turks actually do these things with people they disagree with? Like imagine if Sargon of Akkad was on. Just as an example, or me. You know, why don't they try to do that? Why don't they try to reach out to people that have a different opinion? Like, why doesn't Anna try to figure out why I think the way I think? Why doesn't she try to figure out, why Sargon thinks the way he thinks, or Milo Yiannopoulos, or whoever? No, this fucking cunt just goes, you're garbage human beings, you're piece of shits, I'm fucking better than you. Fuck you. Claims to love the fucking poor, but fucking looks down on every chance she gets.
Americans to vote against their best interests.
And by the way, congratulations to you, the Young Turks, and other digital media for breaking through barriers in.
No, they just got a more radical version of it out there. That's all they did. Personally, Sanders, look, I would never go against the will of the people. But if it was up to me, if I was Emperor of America, you'd be out. I would cast you low. I would make you live as a socialist did in most socialist countries. You want socialism? Well, here it is. It sucks.
Providing information to people that we don't see on corporate television. We're going to talk.
Oh, fuck! For fuck's sakes! The goddamn corporate television, with the exception of Fox News, is left wing. They did every goddamn thing they could to get Hillary elected, and they failed.
Talk about Medicare for all today.
Yes.
Virtually not discussed on CBS, NBC, ABC.
Yes, because they don't want to fucking pay for it.
Etc. And to answer.
This is why it's so unpopular. I do not want my taxes higher to pay for some sorry sack of shit who, quite frankly, should have had a bullet put through his head. I do not give a good goddamn about some family in Mississippi whose kid has cancer. I do not care. And this is the thing you're not getting, Senator Sanders. And I guarantee you, you and your ilk will be exempt from paying this tax. Like you're exempt from paying damn near all taxes. You don't give a sauteed rat's ass about the guy who voted for Trump to protect his own self-interest. You just think he's a hateful, bigot, white supremacist. That's what you think. But you think a guy that wants to keep more money that he earns so that some fucking dipshit family in Montana has to take a $2 deduction on their food stamps. That's just mean and wrong and evil. Senator Sanders, this is why socialism fails every fucking time it's been tried. You have a factory with 100 workers. Now, under socialism, every worker is supposed to have an equal voice. Well, the problem is, eventually, the 51 get to do whatever they want, but the 49 stop doing anything, and the factory goes to hell. That's why it's failed, Senator Sanders. Social Security was a bad idea. Medicare was a bad idea. Now, it worked when it was created. Why? We had 7 or 8 working adults for every fucking retiree. Well, we didn't really count for the baby boomer generation retiring. And I, quite frankly, and also, I don't accept your worldview. I do not accept it, and I do not want it. I do not give a sauteed rat's ass if some poor black kid in Chicago is going to bed hungry tonight. I don't fucking care. Okay? I don't give a shit. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do to prevent it. You know, maybe tell his mama to not fucking have 7 kids out of wedlock. But your socialism rides on the idea that that human beings care about each other. I got news for you, Senator Sanders. We fucking don't. I will cut a motherfucker's throat if it saves me. We're all out for ourselves. And we don't give a shit about anyone else. Now, yes, we're a lot like the apes. You know, we'll fight and defend and fight for our pod. But when another pod moves in, or an outsider moves in, well, look at what the apes do. Half the time they rip his balls off, shove them down his throat, and kill him. Humans are the same way. All right, I have had enough of this fucking shit, and I am going to go start cooking food. We'll take one last look at the chat, because I think I can do a few questions before I gotta fucking pee. Oh, the fucking hour and a half town hall shit. Anyway, all right. That ends this one. I am fucking done. Love everyone. Peace, love, and fucking whatever shit. I'm out of here. See you later.